What if one platform covered everything from idea to market-ready product? A platform teaching all the AI tech and practices needed for successful AI-driven startups.
This is like AI imagination.
We found that the more specific we are,
we used a classifier, we trained a classifier.
I really wanted it to just be more open-ended for the user.
We were experimenting with different chunk sizes,
having some problems to something.
By blending cutting-edge technologies from industry giants, you can create revolutionary AI products that drive innovation forward.
This was a special hack, it was a battle.
Let the hacking begin.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the official kickoff for the Generative AI Hackathon with IBM watsonx. Today, 23rd of August, we start an intensive 2-day hackathon challenge where you will have a chance to dig deeper into the watsonx AI platform and IBM's Granite models. You can call me Jay, and today I'm going to be your host, and I'm here to tell you more about the event schedule, about the challenge and judging criteria, as well as to give you some tips on how to create or join the teams and how to be successful in the hackathon. Let me start with the warm welcome to our LabLab community in the chat. Great to have you here. Please let me know if you already took part in our hackathons before or if you're here for the first time. Either way, welcome. As always, we'll be monitoring the chat, so please stay active and don't hesitate to ask questions. As I just mentioned, the IBM watsonx hackathon will take 2 days, and the deadline for the submissions is planned for 25th of August at 6 p.m. Central European Time. So before that time, all the deliverables should be submitted on our platform. During the stream, except for the introduction and the platform walkthrough, we have amazing speakers for you. Simon Olson, co-founder of New Native, will tell you more about LabLab AI initiatives, and Morgan Carroll, senior AI engineer from IBM, is here to share a few words from their side and answer questions that you might have. At the end of the stream, after the platform walkthrough, Fabian Stelle, one of New Native developers, will give you a short GitHub guide for very beginners. And after the stream at 7 p.m. Central European Time, you will also have a chance to consult the mentors on Q&A session on Discord. This is the only Q&A session that we prepared for you for this hackathon, so don't waste that opportunity and ask questions before you start working on your projects. Before we'll get to our guests, I would like to remind you that today at 2 p.m. we were hosting a workshop by Aisha, AI engineer and solution architect from IBM. And if you missed it, don't worry, the workshop was recorded and now it's available on our YouTube channel. Without further ado, there's no better person to tell us more about LabLab AI than our first guest. I'd like to welcome to the stage Simon Olson. Hi, Simon. Please do the honors.
Hey, Jay. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to have IBM finally join our ecosystem and be a part of our developer community. I've looked forward to this for a very long time. Spent a lot of time looking at Watson, since probably 5 years back. And we're actually playing around with it quite some in the early days. So I'm certainly super excited about this opportunity to work together with IBM. And I don't think there's anybody better than Morgan to be here to represent IBM as well. So super appreciative of that. A couple of words about what LabLab is and what we do. We're trying to gather up the best technology providers in the world when it comes to AI and make it available to people so that everybody can have access and the opportunity to build with this amazing technology and really reshape the way that we build and operate software. And we hope to see a lot of interesting applications coming out of this hackathon. I've seen that we've had something like 2,500 people sign up for this event, which is super cool, and there's a lot of people. And I'm very hopeful and excited to see what you guys build. So with that, I really hope you will have a fun event together with us. There's a bunch of prizes in our prize pool, and we have lined up a bunch of mentors as well, which will be super helpful for this. So I'm hoping, as always, to get dazzled by what you build, and we'll certainly look out for some cool applications to highlight by the end of this. So with that, best of luck in building something really awesome. And I hope to see them soon. Back to you, Jay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Simon. And now I would like to welcome our next guest, Morgan Carroll, Senior AI Engineer from IBM. Hi, Morgan. It's great to have you here today. The stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Simon, you said you've been working with Watson for 5 years, which is crazy because I've been with IBM for 7. So I remember the very early days of Watson. So, oh gee, we love it. Okay, so I do believe that somebody is going to share my presentation for me because I was having technical issues this morning. So while we wait on that, okay, great. There it is. There's me. Thank you. Again, I am an engineer with IBM. I've been working for IBM for 7 years now. Let's just go ahead and get into it because I know everybody's really excited to get started. So if we go to the next slide, please. All right, this is going to show our timeline for the event. Now, everybody, first thing, check your email. You should have a message with details on how to get started on the challenge. This is going to run until August 25th. So make sure you take advantage of this time to get hands-on and learn more about generative AI. Plus, I'm very jealous because y'all get prizes. Next slide, please. Awesome. Okay, so as far as teams go, you can have up to 4 people on your team, or you can work individually if you prefer. Time-wise, you can work anytime during the challenge hours, but do expect that it'll probably take you at least 3 hours to actually get to a good stopping point with the challenge. Also, make sure that you've picked a challenge track, and before time is up, submit your results and your recommendations in the portal. Next slide, please. Okay, so what is a challenge track? It's basically just an exercise for you to complete as part of your challenge. So what you're going to do is work through the exercises using watsonx. Then you're going to come up with a use case that leverages watsonx to solve a particular business challenge. Next slide. Now, if you need some inspiration to get started, here are some ideas. One of the most common use cases that we see is for summarizing documents. So, maybe we want to use watsonx.ai for educational purposes. I don't know about y'all, but when I was in college, I hated reading through all the PowerPoints and the papers. So it would have been really nice to have AI do all this summarization for me. Something else you could think about is something with a positive impact. Here they're using decision making for crops. I'll throw another idea out there, which is actually the area that I work in is customer care. So if you're interested in building a virtual assistant, perhaps, then you can certainly use watsonx.ai to do that. Now, if you need any help, make sure you send your questions in the IBM-watsonx-generative-AI-hackathon channel. That is going to be the best way to get assistance. We're also going to have mentors in local time zones that are going to be ready to help you and provide guidance. And other than that, that's it. I think we're ready to get started.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Morgan. I don't see any questions in the chat for now, but guys, if you will still have questions later on, just drop them in the chat. I will pass it to Morgan later on. Okay, I have a question here, how to understand the IBM Cloud end-to-end. But from what I know, you already provided participants with guidance on the emails, right?
Yes, that's correct. So if you don't see anything in your email, just make sure, as much as I hate to say it, check your junk folders, but you should have received your IBM Cloud invites and stuff like that all via email.
Okay, and there's another question. Are they allowed to use LangChain for this project?
I don't see why not. Let me double check on that. But I'm pretty sure, depending, yeah, I think you can, but let me double check.
All right. And in the meantime, I see someone said that they haven't received any email. I would recommend you to go on our Discord channel, tag mentor, and ask them to help you out with that. If you didn't receive it yet, for sure we can help you out with that. And there is a question about the submission process. Yes, the process is the same, and I'm going to explain that literally in few minutes. All right, Morgan, in the meantime, you can check the answer for that question and maybe just drop it in the chat, and I'll move on with the presentation. Okay, let me tell you a few words about the challenge. The theme for the challenge is the question: how can generative AI technology improve the productivity of an important everyday activity? So we want you to identify a real-world business process or task and propose the solution on how it can be improved by using IBM watsonx technology and their Granite models. If you need more information about IBM and get some useful links, go to Hackathon's event page or visit our tech pages. We are going to judge you based on 4 criteria: application of technology, so how effectively you integrated chosen models into the solution, the potential impact and the business value, the originality and creativity in addressing the challenge, and the final pitch presentation of your project. For the winners of this hackathon, IBM prepared amazing prizes. First place will receive $5,000 in cash and $1,500 in cloud credits. Second place will receive $3,000 in cash and $1,500 in cloud credits. And the third place will receive $2,000 in cash and $1,500 in IBM cloud credits. Additionally, judges will award the best use of Granite models with $500 and IBM watsonx hoodie swag. So don't forget to tag Granite while submitting your project. The best teams will also get an opportunity to get the fast track interview to our Lab Next Accelerator program, where you can transform your project into a market-ready AI startup. For this hackathon, we have prepared for you tutorial, getting started with watsonx.ai, and you can find it on our Lab AI platform. In the navigation bar, go to AI tutorials, and it's going to be there. All right. In this part, I'll walk you through the process of taking part in the hackathons. So for those who already took part in our hackathons before, you can relax for a few minutes. But for those who are here for the first time, I would recommend listening carefully, because the steps I will be mentioning will help you to find the teams and submit your project. But before that, I would like you to meet our amazing mentors who will be assisting you throughout the whole hackathon. They will be waiting for you in the dedicated Discord channels that I will mention later on. On the slide above their photos, you can see their Discord usernames, so don't hesitate to contact them. You can ask not only for technical, but also business-related questions. Now, how to take part in the hackathon. First of all, you need to either create a team or join an existing one. You can, of course, make the project solo, but trust me, it's much more fun if you can share that experience with others. When you already have a team, create your private Discord channel to be able to communicate. You can use different communication channels. It's all up to you, but remember that all the support we provide is happening there. And it's also easier to contact the mentors. We recommend you to come up with 2-3 concepts for your application and then ask mentors for review, for feedback, and for the green light to start with your project. From that moment, start building your prototype, cooperate with each other, deliver your tasks, and at the end of the hackathon, submit your project and the product presentation on a Lab AI platform. Remember that the presentation is very important because it will basically form the first impression of your project on the judges. And if you'll decide to continue with developing your project after the hackathon, it will be a great pitch presentation for your future customers and investors. If you want to read more about the whole process, go to our platform and you can find the LabLab AI guide that covers everything that I just mentioned. Here's the QR code that will help you to find it. And now I'm going to get a little bit deeper into explaining some of the points and share screens from the platform. Creating a profile on LabLab AI and filling it up with information is super important. First of all, because you might encounter some issues with submitting your project if you don't do that properly. Also, it's very important to connect your Discord because otherwise you won't be able to create the team or see the teams that are still looking for members. And second of all, LabLab AI, it's a great networking space, and your profile is basically like your portfolio that will be visible for your future teammates, not only for this one, but also for the upcoming hackathons. So share what type of builder you are, share your achievements and your social media, let people to get to know you better. After creating your account and enrolling to the hackathon, you will be able to create or join the team. To do that, go to the event page of the hackathon you're taking part in, and at the bottom of the page, you will see the button Create or Join the Team. You will be transferred to your dashboard where you will be able to create a new team. But if you're looking for a team, just scroll down and you will see the list of teams that are currently looking for team members. Remember that in order to see that list, first you need to connect your Discord account. If the team is looking for the members, use the chat window on the team page to communicate with the members. You can introduce yourself, ask them if you can join, or use the button Join Team and wait for the group leader's approval. If your team has already 2 or more team members, you will be able to create your own Discord channel that will become the main communication channel, not only for you, but it will also allow mentors to communicate with your team. On your team page, you will also see the toggle to call for help. If you'll do that, if you'll use it, mentors will receive the notification and will jump into your channel as soon as they can. And talking about the mentors, they are available for you throughout the whole hackathon on the general LabLab Discord server. So go to I Need Help channel and use tag mentor for technical or business advice. I would also like to say big thank you to IBM for sending a group of mentors from their side. They already joined the Discord channels and are waiting to help you with any questions or issues that you might have. But don't forget to use tag mentor because it makes it much easier to filter your queries. There are many Discord channels that might be useful for you during this hackathon. There are channels where you can ask for help, when you look for important information, but also those where you can introduce yourself to the community and many more. So I recommend you to check what's there because I'm sure you'll definitely find something for yourself. All right. At the end of the hackathon, you will have to submit your project. What we require from you is the product description, pitch presentation, and the GitHub link with the demo. Remember that the presentation can be longer than 5 minutes. And please make sure that your demo link is working, because if we'll be missing any of the deliverables, your project won't be eligible for evaluation. If you want to read more about the submission guidelines, scan this QR code and you will find their article with all detailed description. When it comes to submitting your project, you can do that through the submission form that you will find on your team page. One more article worth mentioning. We have prepared for you some tips on how to be successful at the hackathon. You'll read there about 7 steps for creating a winning business idea from brainstorming to execution. And you can find it by scanning this QR code. That was it when it comes to the platform walkthrough. So now let's watch Fabian's GitHub guide for beginners, and I'm going to take a look at your questions in the chat.
Hello and welcome everyone. In this tutorial I will show you how to use GitHub for your hackathon project. So let's get started. First, head over to github.com and then create a new account with the sign up button right here. I've already done this, so after you completed the sign up you will come to this site. And this is basically the GitHub main page. And right here, to create a new repository, you can go to the top left to this plus icon right here and click New Repository. Next, you need to select an owner. Just select yourself in this case. Then you can give your repository a name. So for now, I will just go with Hackathon Test Project. You can give a small description to your project. You can decide whether you want your repository to be public, so visible to everyone, or private. Private means that it's just visible to you and collaborators you add. You can add a README file, so tell people what your repository actually is. You can add a git ignore file to ignore files that should not be uploaded to our version control. I will go over these a little bit later, so for now we will just click create a repository. And as a next step, I want to show you how you can actually add collaborators to your project, because most of the time you will be working in a small team. So you can just go over to the settings, then on the left side collaborators, and then down here just add people. Then you can enter a username, full name or email. For now I will just take someone from the lab development team. So I will click him and add him to the repository. We can see right here that the invite is pending, so he will receive an email and also a GitHub notification that he got invited to this repository. Okay, so next let's look at git ignore files. I've created here on the right side a small sample project with just one Python file and one env file. So this right here is an example for an API key that you don't want to be publicly available on GitHub in your repository. So let's exclude this env file from our version control. To do this, we will create a new file that's called gitignore. And in this gitignore file, we can just type in the name of the file we don't want to be uploaded to GitHub. So on this file it's .env. And to actually confirm that this will not upload to GitHub, we will use the command git init to create a new Git repository locally on our machine. And right here we can see that these two files now got added to our repository, so it's just main.py and the gitignore file, but not our .env file. So let's upload this to GitHub. We can use these commands right here to actually upload it a little bit faster. So first we will add all our files and we will create our first commit, switch on the main branch, add the remote origin, and then push all files to our remote repository. Let's refresh our GitHub right here. And now you can see that we have both of these files right here, and our .env file is excluded from our Git repository. Okay, so next let's look at how to actually host your project so people can see it all around the world. So right here we have three different platforms. Vercel, this is great for all kinds of web applications, mostly JavaScript, but also Python. You can just click here start deploying, connect your GitHub, and then after it's connected you can just select your repository right here, and most of the time it's actually a zero config deployment, so you can just hit deploy and everything will work out of the box. So that's great for JavaScript and Python web projects. Then next is Replit. On Replit you can basically host any code in any language and you can run it in the browser, so it's super useful. And the last thing is Streamlit. Streamlit is great for Python applications. You have some really good components you can use to actually create a web application really fast and easy. I hope this small guide was very helpful for you. You can also find this in written form on our Lab AI tutorial page. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
Hope this quick workshop was useful for you guys. You can always get back to it and rewatch it. As I mentioned before, this stream is going to be available on Twitch and YouTube channels. I took a look at your questions in the chat, and Morgan, there's quite few for you. And first one is, can we use IBM Granite models from Hugging Face and then train it on specific data?
I believe so. I don't see why not. I know we have a partnership with Hugging Face. Again, though, we just want to make sure that everyone is actually using some sort of the watsonx.ai, either like one of the services or you're building something on the platform. So if you're using a model from Hugging Face directly, that maybe doesn't count. But if you could put in more detail in the support channel, then we could probably answer that a little bit better.
Okay, next one is, how can I obtain better IBM API key authentication? What are space ID and project ID, and where can I find them?
The space ID and project ID are going to be in the project settings. As for the IBM API key, I am going to post a link to the documentation that'll show you all how to get to that.
Awesome. I think there's the same question about API key. Is it necessary to use only the Granite models, or can we also use third-party models?
You can definitely use other models. I know we support maybe 10 or 12 different models. I can also link to those as well, but yeah, definitely.
And when signing up for watsonx.ai and choosing my country during sign up, I got this error. The current account type is not supported in this country or region.
Interesting. I'm curious what country that is. If there's an option to select America, I would probably just go with that because I know that one would work. If there's not, then just post in the Discord channel and we'll take a closer look.
And it's always good to drop that question in the Discord channels, because then mentors can look at your case individually. You can send some screens and they will take a look at what is happening specifically with that issue. There's a question, are you going through the watsonx platform to get the point where we can get the API key and the Python code to call the Granite endpoint?
I might have to just read that one. I'm not sure that I understand it from hearing it. But if y'all could post that one in the channel and then tag me, then I will take a look.
Also, take a look at the workshop that we posted on our YouTube channel. Maybe you're going to find your answers there as well. Okay, there was one question about the hackathon. Are we allowed to work individually during this hackathon? Yes, you can. You can work solo. The only difference is going to be that from your team page, you won't be able to create the communication channel, because you don't need it because you're working solo. So yes, the answer is yes. And there was a question about deliverables. If you're not able to provide the demo link for your prototype, record the video. We know that there is an issue with that, so just record the video, put it somewhere where you can share it, and share that link on your submission form. Okay. Do we need to share a Git repo link as submission? Yes, but if your prototype doesn't allow you to provide that link, as I said, you can record the video and provide it to us. You can also ask mentors more about that. Ask them if what solution will be sufficient for them when it comes to judging, because they are also going to judge your project, so they will give you the correct answer. All right. And what would you suggest on how can we proceed with using watsonx.ai, like how we can generally use open source models? If you can explain the workflow that you would prefer. Is that something you can answer, Morgan, or should they send that question on the Discord?
I would send it in the Discord. It's a little vague, but I mean, that's also part of the challenge, is figuring out how you want to use watsonx. But definitely post it in the channel and one of the mentors can probably elaborate a little bit.
Exactly. Okay, so more of the technical questions, I would really recommend you to send it there because mentors can take a closer look at your specific issue. We'll move on with the presentation. We'll slowly wrapping up. But before we'll wrap up the kickoff, don't forget to follow our social media to stay up to date with all the announcements for this and future hackathons. You can find us on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on X, Facebook, and on Discord. Our team is putting a lot of effort in preparing this content for you, so please share some love and leave like or comment there. I'm sure you'll make few people happy about that. And don't forget to sign up for the upcoming hackathons. 13th of September, we'll have AI Agents Hackathon, both online and on-site. So for those who are going to be in San Francisco at that time, you should definitely check it out. For the rest of the world, we will be hosting an online event as always. Let me take one last look at the chat because I see that something is coming. When will mentors be available? I'm trying to communicate on Discord, but no response. You'll definitely get a response. There is around 35 mentors from IBM. There's plenty of mentors on our side. So just have a little bit of patience or tag them if you didn't tag them yet. It's going to be much easier to filter your questions. Use I need help channels, but also the dedicated channels for the hackathon. Someone for sure will answer soon as they can. All right. Once again, I would like to say thank you to our today's guest. Thank you very much, Morgan, for being here with us. Guys, we are super proud to have such an amazing community. I would like to wish you a happy hacking. Good luck with your projects, and we see each other on the winner stream. Bye-bye.